first limited late model heat will be the 24T of John Stamen. Tracy Springer in the 45. Then it's the 12 of Glenn Adams, followed by the 117 of Jeff King, the 43 of Gene Wrightstone, the 2 of Scott Richwine, the 3 of Charlie Cope, and then it's the 6 of Carl Billett starting in the rear. We'll go 10 laps in this first heat event. 10 laps will be the distance, and here they go with John Stamen in the 24T moving out into the lead. Followed by the 12 car of Glenn Adams going down low, and the 45 of Tracy Springer holding on for second and third positions. Scotty Richwine trying the outside, not able to negotiate that turn. Dropping way to the rear of the car, still bouncing around. Looks like the 45 car of Tracy Springer has a flat. He'll go high up into the first and second turn, not able to bring the car back down. He's going to try and make it into the pits. Let's see who the leader is now. Still John Stamen in the 24T with 2 laps being scored. It's the 6 car of Carl Billett going on the outside, the 117 of Jeff King going on the inside. Both cars negotiate around the 24 of John Stamen. Let's see who makes it to the flagpole. It's the 6 starting all the way in the rear, Carl Billett, and now we have a 43 car of Gene Wrightstone, the 18 of Charlie Cope, the 12 of Glenn Adams. Glenn Adams able to fire his car and move out. And also, can't see exactly who that other car is. It looks like it might be the 24 car of John Stamen, who was our early leader. We have 3 laps down. We'll have 7 more. We'll be right back with our continuation. Three laps are down, 7 to go for our leader, the number 6 of Carl Billett, who started back in 8th position and has already powered his way up to the front. Carl Billett has not finished less than first. He has not finished less than first in any of his heat events so far this year. Unfortunately, he also had a problem. And one of the features was not able to finish, but he's doing a great job this year. Carl Billett still in the lead with the 117 of Jeff King, and now Scotty Richwine in the 2. Had problems a little bit earlier holding on to the car, has now moved up into 3rd position, followed by Gene Wrightstone and the 12 car of Glenn Adams. The sneaky snake, Charlie Cope, warming up his tires back in the rear. He's still running 6th, must move up 1 position. Here we see the battle with 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Gene Wrightstone, Glenn Adams, and Charlie Cope. All 3 drivers experienced doing a beautiful job. Scott Richwine looks like he's getting stronger as the race goes on, trying to make a move up to 2nd position and take that away from the 117 of Jeff King. A lot of feature winners out there in this heat event. Now the 12 of Glenn Adams and 18 of Charlie Cope getting together. Glenn does not want to give Charlie a chance to get around him, because once he does, he knows the snake will keep right on going. 2 laps to go for our leader, the 6 of Carl Billett. Jeff King still in 2nd position with Scotty Richwine in 3rd. Gene Wrightstone, now Charlie Cope moving in front of the 12 of Glenn Adams. White flag comes out for our leader. It's Carl Billett. Looks like he's going to make it 1 more heat event that he takes to win. Coming down for the final turn, it's the 6 car Red Wing Shoe, number 6. Carl Billett with Jeff King in the 117 coming in 2nd. Then it's the 2 of Scotty Richwine, the 43 of Gene Wrightstone, and the 18 of Charlie Cope. Like I said, don't take your eyes off of him. The sneaky snake will come right up through. Again, our winner in the 6th, Carl Billett. Right back with our 2nd limited late model heat event. Time for our second limited late model heat event. Starting on the pole is the 2M of Dave Magilton. Russ Leinbach will be starting on the outside in the 9. Then it's Wilmer Weiss starting the second row in the K3. Ron Little in the 11. Jeff Leapart in the 103, currently 7th in points. Brian Shuey in the 22 will be starting 6th. And then it's Jimmy Shuttlesworth, our points leader, in the 91, starting 7th. And they're going. Ron Little pushing the 9 of Russ Leinbach, telling him, get moving, I'm coming up. And it is the 9 of Russ Leinbach taking the early lead, but Ron Little trying to go down low and take that lead away. In third is the 22 car of Brian Shuey. The 2M of Dave Magilton has fallen back into 4th position. Wilmer Weiss in 5th. Then it's Jeff Leapart and Jimmy Shuttlesworth in the rear, but now he's starting to make his move. Jimmy Shuttlesworth, a smart driver, runs both the Super Sportsman and the limited late models. Waiting until the cars string out, then he starts to make his moves around. 2 laps have been scored. Still in the lead is Russ Leinbach, but again, the 11 car of Ron Little trying to make his move underneath. 3 cars sliding up high as the 22 of Brian Shuey trying now to get a nose underneath Ron Little. No going here, they're still moving out. 3 laps have been scored, 7 to go for our leader. Here comes the 9 of Russ Leinbach running a nice race. Staying midway in the track and not moving up too high. He's running a real nice line right in the center. Now the 22 car of Brian Shuey, currently running 6th in points, making his move underneath Ron Little as Ron goes way up high on the track. Ron Little now running in 3rd. Then it's the 103 of Jeff Leapart, Dave Magilton in the 2M, and then Wilmer Weiss now losing the handle and giving Jimmy Shuttlesworth a chance to move in underneath. Got a battle going for that lead now between Brian Shuey and Russ Leinbach. Brian Shuey trying to stand down low. Looks like he's going to have enough to get a nose on Russ Leinbach, and he does, and he completes the pass. See if he can hold it as he comes through turn 4. He does, under the flag stand. He scored as our leader. Brian Shuey now in the lead with Russ Leinbach in the 9. Ron Little and Jeff Leapart now vying for that 3rd position. Ron Little staying down low. Let's see if he can make a pass underneath. As I said, Russ Leinbach trying to stay nearly in the middle of the track, this time going down a little bit lower into turns 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. 8 laps are down. Now we have the 9 car of Russ Leinbach towing sideways. The 103 of Jeff Leapart going into him. Ron Little and Dave Magilton. 4 cars getting together. We only have 2 laps left to go. 3 cars are still running. We'll be back as soon as they sort this out for our final 2 laps. It's a habit, but the 22 car of Brian Shuey likes to get up to the front. Brian Shuey, 6th in our points, has the pole. Jimmy Shuttlesworth, 1st in the standings right now, is in 2nd position. Then it's Wilmer Weiss in the K3, followed by Ron Little. Then it's the 9 of Russ Leinbach and the 2 of Dave Magilton. 2 laps to go. Let's see if Jimmy Shuttlesworth is able to pull up there and take away the lead from the 22 of Brian Shuey. Brian Shuey able to elude that pile up of 4 cars, taking the white flag. Ron Little getting his nose right up underneath the K3 of Wilmer Weiss. Oh, I can see why. They're both yellow cars. They don't mind swapping paint with those 2 cars. But here comes our leader, and taking the checker flag is the 22 car of Brian Shuey. Then it's the 91 of Jimmy Shuttlesworth, the K3 of Wilmer Weiss, the 11 of Ron Little, and then it's the 9 of Russ Leinbach. Again, our winner in the 22 car, starting in the 6th position, 6th in the point standing, it's the 22 of Brian Shuey. Next up are another limited late model heat.
We hope you enjoy the races.
It's time for the limited late model heat number 3. Mike Leonard starting on the pole in the 7. Then it's Jerry Remsnyder in the 24. Rick Barr in the 5, making up the second row with Tim Liddick in the 75L. Then it's Mark Billett in the 27 with Chris Shuey next to him in the 21. Todd Bayshore in the 29 and Smokey Fry in the 1W. Going out into an early lead is the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder. Mike Leonard in the 7 going down low, and Rick Barr in the 5 holding on for third. In fourth position is the 27 of Mark Billett, already moving up from his 5th position. The cars all piling up, a lot of white cars all together in turn 4. Here we see Rick Barr still holding on for that 3rd position, but the 27 now of Mark Billett going way up high, trying to take that position away. The 24 of Jerry Remsnyder opening up a nice lead, about a 4-car lead as he's going past the flag stand as the rest of the field is coming out of turn 4. In second is Mike Leonard in the 7 and the 27 now of Mark Billett moving into third. Now he's passing to move up into second as the 7 of Mike Leonard loses a little bit of ground. Rick Barr now trying to make his move underneath, as is the 21 of Chris Shuey in the blue 21. Tim Liddick in that 75 also trying to make a move. And don't count out Smokey Fry, our current track champion, second in points as we race tonight. Here we see Chris Shuey now moving up into 3rd position. And we have 2 cars coming together. That's the 75 car of Tim Liddick and the 1W of Smokey Fry and Nicole Haynes' car. 4 laps have been scored, 6 more to go. We'll be back in just a moment. 4 laps have been scored, 6 to go for our leader, the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder. It's a shame because he had a nice lead build up with that 24 car. Now it's a race by the old yellow flag. Here he goes to see if he can pull back out into that lead. In second position is the 27 car of Mark Billett. Then it's Chris Shuey in the 21. The 7 car of Mike Leonard now moving up to the back again. And Rick Barr now settling into 4th position. Coming up high is the 29 of Todd Bayshore, and right along with him is the 1W of Smokey Fry. Smokey now getting pinned in the back behind the 7 of Mike Leonard. Our new leader now is the 27 of Mark Billett. He's currently 9th in points. Here comes Chris Shuey in the 21. He's 6th. These guys want to stay in the top 10, so they've got to move up in these heat events to make sure they start early. Now we have the 1W car of Smokey Fry. Looks like he just lost the motor. Involved in that earlier accident we had in turns 3 and 4. Now it looks like he's blown a motor. The race continues as they're telling Smokey to move it on in the pits. He's able to get off the track, and the racing continues with 7 laps down and 3 to go for our leader, the 27 car, Mark Billett. In second is Chris Shuey. Then it's the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder still holding on to that 3rd position, but Rick Barr in the 5 is pressuring him, as is the 29 of Todd Bayshore. Todd Bayshore currently in 5th position. That's where he's got to be to qualify for the feature event for the evening. 2 laps to go. It looks like they're going to hold on this way. Coming out of turn 4, it's our leader, the 27, Mark Billett, seeing the white flag, knowing he has 1 lap to go to take this win. 27 of Mark Billett. Looks like he'll be our leader and looks like he'll be our winner. Here he comes to take the checkered flag. Mark Billett in the 27 car, our winner. Chris Shuey in the 21 in second. That's the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder, the 5 of Rick Barr, and the 29 of Todd Bayshore. Again, our winner taking over on the 5th lap. It's the 27 car of Mark Billett. We'll be back in just a moment. Going to qualify 6 out of this event, our limited late model consolation event. In the 12 car, Glenn Adams. Starting next to him in the 7 will be Mike Leonard. In the 24T, it's John Stamen. The 45 car starting in the 2nd row is Tracy Springer. Then it's the 75 of Tim Liddick. The 103 of Jeff Leapart not out there, and we also have a change. We have in the 2M That will be Smokey Fry running the 2M. And in the rear, it's the 45 again, as we said, Tracy Springer. Glenn Adams going out into the lead with the 24 car now of John Stamen trying to go down underneath. But Mike Leonard holding on. The 103 of Jeff Leapart going up high. And it's Smokey Fry in that 2M car. Now making a pass on the 24 of John Stamen. Smokey Fry lost a motor in his earlier race. Dave Magilton giving him the ride in his car, figuring he'll have a better shot of winning in his car than he will. That is real sportsmanship, giving Smokey the chance, and Smokey is in the points lead, giving him the chance to continue racing in their backup car or in the car with some new sheet metal on it. Currently running third is Smokey Fry, our current track champion. He's pressuring the 103 now of Jeff Leapart. The leader is still Glenn Adams. Mike Leonard in the 7 is currently running fourth, and it's the 24T of John Stamen and Tim Liddick in the 75. Here comes our leader, the 12 car, Glenn Adams. It's cooling off as the sun goes down here at Silver Spring Speedway, and the alcohol does run better in the cold, so these guys are really starting to fly as the track dries out and the car starts to run faster. Race between Jeff Leapart and that 103 and the 2M car driven by Smokey Fry. Halfway down in our consolation event for the limited late model. Now the 12 car, Glenn Adams losing the handle. Jeff Leapart slowing down, collecting his car, as did Smokey Fry. We're still going green. These guys are veterans. They know in a consolation event, it's not necessary to blast your cars up there, as you will already be starting near the back of the pack. The idea is to qualify. And qualify up as high as you can. That's why Smokey Fry is still trying to make a move on Jeff Leapart. That's also known as drivers trying to go for the lead. We have a yellow flag coming out. In the back of turn 2, it looks like it's the 45 car of Tracy Springer. We have 7 laps down. We'll be back in just a moment with our finishing laps of our limited late model consolation event. We'll see if they go green here. The umpires are still calling for it. The track officials acting like umpires, yelling out different commands, but here they go. In the lead, it's the 12 car of Glenn Adams with the Jeff Leapart in the 103 trying to go on the outside. Also on the outside is the 2M car being driven by Smokey Fry. 2 laps to go for our leader. Glenn Adams started on the pole, and he's holding on to it. But just as I say that, Jeff Leapart making a pass, but the yellow light comes out just again. Yellow flags coming out. Looks like they're going to checker flag this event, as the track officials have the opportunity to do so. So it looks like it will be the 12, as the cars are not changing position. 12 car of Glenn Adams, then it'll be the 103 of Jeff Leapart, the 2M of Smokey Fry, the 24T of John Stamen, and the 75 of Tim Liddick. Up next, consolation events for our street stock division or our sportsman. We'll have to wait and see what Silver Spring brings us next. Starting on the pole for a limited late model feature event, it's the 24 of Jerry Remsteider. In second will be Russ Leinbach in the 9. Third, Rick Barr in the 5. Starting fourth will be Wilmer Weiss in the K3. Then it's Jeff King in the 117 starting fifth. Ron Little in the 11 will be starting sixth. Then it's Mark Pillett in the 27. Starting eighth, Gene Wrightstone in the 43. Chris Shuey in the 21. Scotty Richwine will be starting 10th in the 2. Then it's Brian Shuey in the 22. Todd Bayshore in the 29. Carl Billett in the 6. Charlie Cope in the 18, Jimmy Shuttlesworth in the 91, Glenn Adams in the 12, Jeff Leapart in the 103, Smokey Fry running the 2M, John Stamen in the 24T, Tim Liddick in the 75L, and Mike Leonard in the 7. It's the thunder of limited late model competition as the 24 car of Jerry Remsnyder starts on the pole and holds on as we're getting ready to score lap number 1. Going up high is Russ Leinbach in that 9. And it looks like we have a car spinning in the back. Did not, yes, a lap has been scored. Nope, a lap has not been scored as the lap is erased. Can't see which car that is. Looks like it might be the 117 of Jeff King. Yes, that is the 117 of Jeff King in between turns 1 and 2 in the guardrail. We'll be back, restart with our limited late model feature event. Complete restart for our limited late model division. On the pole still is the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder. Next to him is Russ Leinbach. And then it's Rick Parr and Wilmer Weiss. Rick Parr got a nice start on that first start. Let's see if he continues. Looks like Rick Parr is going down low. Rick Parr, an excellent driver, has not had a whole heck of a lot of luck here the past couple of weeks, but it looks like that luck is starting to hold out for him as he's starting to move up into second position behind that 24 of Jerry Remsnyder. Yellow flag comes out once again. Looks like it's the 22 car driven by Brian Shuey, spinning out. No laps again have been scored, so we'll have a complete restart here once again with our limited late model feature event. We'll be back in just a moment. Once again, our leader will be George Remsnyder in the 24, Russ Leinbach in the 9, Rick Parr in the 5, Wilmer Weiss in the K3. Jeff King is out, and it's Ron Little now moving up into that 5th starting position. And then it's the 27 of Mark Billett. It's a good start for our drivers. Let's see if we can get a lap in with our limited late model feature event. Rick Parr again moving up into second position past the 9 of Russ Leinbach. That 6 car, as you see now, being collected by the 103. That was the 6 car of Carl Billett moving up through the pack. It looks like he collected the 103 of Jeff Leapart. However, before the yellow light came out, they did get 1 lap in. Now the 6 car of Carl Billett is slowing in the back. We'll have to see what's happened to his car. He might have a flat tire in that left rear. He does. We'll have a single file restart as we come back. 1 lap being scored with our limited late model feature event. So now we're going to start single file with our leader, Jerry Remsnyder, see if we can get a few more laps in. Rick Parr has been scored as in second place. Then it's Russ Leinbach in the 9, followed by Ron Little in the 11, then the 3 of Wilmer Weiss. Chris Shuey going way up high in the 21, trying to make his move. Apparently it worked as he's getting a nose up on Wilmer Weiss in the 3. Jeff King had to go to the back, and so did the 6 car of Carl Billett, who experienced a flat, as well as the 22 of Brian Shuey. The 24 car, Jerry Remsnyder, now losing it a little bit as Rick Parr goes up high, trying to take the lead away. It looks like he's going to do it. Ron Little coming right along with him. Ron Little also running that high line. And the number 11 car, that's Dan Little is the owner, Ron Little's the driver. As he ducks down low to try and make a move on Rick Parr. Ron Little is not one to take it easy. He will throw that car any way he can to get around Rick Parr. Still in third position is the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder. Yellow comes out as the 7. It looks like the 7 of Mike Leonard is able to keep going, but it's Tim Liddick in the 75, and also the 24 car of John Stamen. Cars running in the back of the pack, bringing out the yellow flag as 3 laps have been scored on our 20-lap feature event. We'll be right back. We have 3 laps down and 17 more to go for our leader, Rick Barr. Rick Barr started third. Now he's up to the lead with Ron Little right behind. 24 of Jory Remsnyder holding on to third, and Russ Leinbach in the 9. And it's Wilmer Weiss, Chris Shuey, the 27 of Mark Phillip. The 29 car of Todd Bayshore. The 43 car of Gene Wrightstone. Then it's the 2 of Scott Richwine and the 2M of Smokey Fry. Ron Little trying to take it down low and take the lead away from Rick Barr. Looks like he might have a nose on him, and he does. Ron Little now getting the lead. And if I'm not mistaken, he's got some hot brakes already with only 4 laps down. Let's watch the tail end of that car as he comes through this time. Yes, we have some hot brakes on the left inside of Ron Little. Let's see if his brakes will hold out for the race. In second position is Rick Barr. Then it's Jerry Remsnyder, now Wilmer Weiss. And we have the 27 car of Mark Phillip trying to make a move up, as is Todd Bayshore in the 29. Chris Shuey had moved up but is now dropping back. Gene Wrightstone getting underneath. Smokey Fry at 2M moving that car up nicely. Currently running in 9th position. Here we see the 20s. We see Chris Shuey, Phillip, Bayshore. Look at these guys coming together. Gene Wrightstone in that 43 rubbing up against Chris Shuey in that 21. Look at Scotty Richwine splitting the seams now. Scotty Richwine in the 2 moving up in front of Chris Shuey in the 21. Our leader still Ron Little in the 11, and the 5 of Rick Barr in second, the 27 now of Mark Phillip moving up into third. Then it's the 29 of Todd Bayshore as he makes his move. On the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder, Wilmer Weiss going down low, trying to pass on the inside. Gene Wrightstone on the outside of Wilmer Weiss. He's still moving up to the back. We have 9 laps down. Giving the halfway sign to our leader, Ron Little. It's halfway down. Those brakes are still sparking. This won't stop these drivers, but now we have, looks like the 27 car of Mark Phillip going too far in on the infield, losing the handle on the car. Well, this will give Ron Little a chance to have those brakes cool off a little bit. And we have 10 laps down, halfway down with our feature event. We'll be back with our second half in just a moment. Ten laps down, 10 to go for Ron Little in the 11. Then it's Rick Barr still running second in the 5. The 29 car of last week's feature winner, that's Todd Bayshore. And it's the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder still holding on. Jerry running a good race tonight. Now being passed by Gene Wrightstone right on the start. Again, Ron Little having some heated up race. Looks like he had some there as he cut it down low and has opened up a 4-car lead over the 5 of Rick Barr. Now we have Smokey Fry in the 2M tapping. Looks like he tapped the rear of the 43 car of Gene Wrightstone. That's Gene Wrightstone pulling off there. Smokey Fry just tapped the rear end a little bit in that 2M car, Gene Wrightstone. So now we'll be, we're watching Gene Wrightstone. I'm watching Smokey Fry as he moved his 2M way up in the 4th position. I don't think that's the way they're going to start him, though. We'll be back with our restart. Still 11 laps, now 11 laps down. 9 more to go with our limited late model heat event, or feature event. Still in the lead with 11 laps down is Ron Little. Rick Barr is in second, and then it's the 29 car of Todd Bayshore. Wilmer Weiss and the 2M. That's Dave Magilton's car, but it's Smokey Fry driving it. Just goes to show you what a driver of his caliber can do. He had to start clear back in 18th position, and he's already up challenging for 4th. Now the 5 of Rick Barr loses his handle, giving Wilmer Weiss the chance to move up into 3rd position. Racing's getting tight as we see Rick Barr still holding on to 3rd. Wilmer Weiss cutting down low, trying to take away that 3rd position, and does. And he's trying to go after the 29 of Todd Bayshore. Todd Bayshore putting 2 runs together in 2 weeks. Winning last week in our feature event. This week running another great race. Rick Barr running 3rd, then it's Wilmer Weiss into 3. Now Smokey Fry losing the handle, being slammed up into the wall. Looks like he's also collected the 2 car. No, that's the... Looks like that's the 7 of Mike Leonard. Okay, that's the 7T. That's the 7T car driven by Jeff King. It's kind of hard for us to see here. Smokey Fry losing the handle on the car as he was collected by several different cars. Smokey Fry, then it was the Jeff King is slamming into him, not able to control his car. And it looks like also Chris Shuey is up there. Looks like Chris Shuey is also up in turn. The red light is out. We'll have a complete stop here. We'll be back with 13 laps down, 7 to go with our limited late model feature event. It's still Ron Little Sr. in the lead with 13 laps down and 7 to go. The 29 car of Todd Bayshore right behind, and Rick Barr still holding on to 3rd, and Wilmer Weiss in 4th. Smokey Fry had to leave in that 2M, and Jeff King, who is also collected in that. Jeff King, who is also collected in that. As you see this car go by here, there's not much left of that car. But Jeff King is all right after the ambulance is brought out. 13 laps down, here comes our leader, Ron Little, in the 11 car. Going up high once again is the 29 car, Todd Bayshore. Now we have several cars coming together once again. Looks like it's the 24 car of John Stamen. And the 20, there's the 6 car driven by Carl Billett, the 24 of Jerry Remsnyder, and also the 12 of Glenn Adams. Glenn Adams still seen here in turn 4. 1 lap has been scored, 14 laps down with 6 more to go, and one of our longest limited late model features of the year. We'll be right back. Once again, our leader, Ron Little Sr. in the 11 car. His brother, Dan Little, owns the car. In second, it's the 29 of Todd Bayshore, and he's really moving up through the pack. Todd Bayshore started clear back in 12th position and is already up challenging for 2nd. 6 more laps to go. Let's see if Ron Little can hold on to that lead. Rick Barr now making a challenge once again. Rick Barr trying to take that 2nd position back away from the 29 of Todd Bayshore. Ron Little going way up high. "15 laps down, 5 to go." As you see the race between the 29 of Todd Bayshore and Rick Barr for the 2nd position, and they're right on the heels of Ron Little, who has led this race from almost the 1st lap, with many yellow lights in between. Looks like Ron's going up high, trying to take away that high line from the 29 of Todd Bayshore. Todd Bayshore likes to run up there, so Ron Little says, "I'm going to take it away from you." But that does open up the bottom for Rick Barr, who likes to run the bottom. So far it's working, though, for Ron Little. He's able to open up about a 4-car lead. on Todd Bayshore, but now going up a little bit too high and narrowing that gap once again. Todd Bayshore in the 29 and the 5 of Rick Barr. In fourth position is Wilmer Weiss. And from out of nowhere, Scotty Richwine now has moved up into the fourth position. Scotty Richwine, a past feature winner here. Now we see the K3 of Wilmer Weiss going way inside, and the 91 of Jimmy Shuttlesworth now making his play. 1 lap to go for our leader. It looks like Ron Little in the 11 car has a 4-car lead. It looks like it's going to be pretty hard for Todd Bayshore. It's going to have to be on this lap. Here comes the 11. It's Ron Little in the 11. In the family Ford Mercury, number 11, Ron Little. Here he comes to take the checkered flag. He's banging into the wall, but takes the lead, takes the win. It's Ron Little in the 11. Coming across second is the 29 of Todd Bayshore and the 5 of Rick Barr, but the two of them got together as they passed. Then it's the 2 of Scotty Richwine, the 3 of Wilmer Weiss, the 91 Jimmy Shuttlesworth, the 18 of Charlie Cope, the 9 of Jeff Leinbach, of Russ Leinbach. I think it's the 22 car after that of Brian Shuey. And then the 6 of Carl Billett. Both drivers are okay down here, but what a finish. These limited late models have done this before, but it's Ron Little taking the win. Ron Little in the 11, followed by the 29 car of Todd Bayshore, then the 5 of Rick Barr, the 2 of Scotty Richwine, the 3 car of Wilmer Weiss, the 91 of Jimmy Shuttlesworth, the 18 of Charlie Cope, the 9 car driven by Russ Leinbach, the 22 car of Brian Shuey, and the 6 of Carl Billett. Again, the unofficial results. We'll have to join Ron Little in the winner's circle here in just a moment.
Feature, the Snap-on Street Stock. Danny Klein in the 55, Dean Light in the 111 will be in row 1. Larry Miller 74, Steve Wilbur in the 6 in row 2. George Ash in the 69, Nick Lorenzo in 78 in row 3. Then it'll be the 80 of Todd Reed, the 33 of Joe Whiteley, the 49 of Jet King, the 57R of Dan Richstreet, the 12 of Donnie Mertz, the 15K of Jill Crick, and he is a marked man, you know. 2 in a row out to making a 3-peat for Crick. Then it'll be Carl Graves in a 75, Sam Geip in the 9, the 10 of Ray Hope, the 35 of Todd Wheeler, Randy Schaefer 38S, Mike Lotcher 55X, Alex Fry 97, Mike Blenheim in the 07, Larry Risser in the 2, Sam Leonard in the 7, Kenny Malick in 68, Scott Stein in the 1. Right here, right here. Back. Luis, the winner at Port Royal tonight. I understand he got Keith Kaufman on the last lap to take the checker.